Spain, famously known for creating tapas, which are essentially little appetizers you nibble on before a meal and pack some serious flavors. Today, I'm going to show you how to make 4 plant-based Spanish tapas dishes. Now, the best thing about these 4 tapas recipes is that they're all naturally vegan. We're not substituting or taking any ingredients away to make them vegan. In fact, you'll find all 4 of these tapas at many bars and restaurants here in España. Folks, this is what it's all about. Whether you're a vegan or a meat eater, the flavors of these tapas are going to instantly transport you to beautiful Spain. For our first tapas dish, we are making wrinkled potatoes with Spanish mojo picon sauce. This dish hails from the Canary Islands and it's known as Papas Arugalas con mojo picon. This is truly one of the best tapas dishes that hail from Spain. It has so many amazing flavors. It's very easy to make and it comes together in just a little over 30 minutes. I'm going to begin by grabbing a large stock pot, adding in 12 baby new potatoes. I've already washed these and make sure they're all in a single layer. Pouring some cold water into the stock pot. You want to go to just above the potatoes. In fact, even if a little skin is showing, not a big deal. Adding a generous 2 tablespoons of fine sea salt. You want to try and add that salt on top of each potato. And heat it with a high heat. While our potatoes are starting to cook, let's make the Spanish mojo picon sauce. I'm going to add in 4 jarred roasted red bell peppers into a food processor, along with 2 thick pieces of baguette bread that have been toasted, 2 cloves of roasted garlic, 1 clove of raw garlic, 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of white wine vinegar, 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and a 1/4 cup of cold water. Season it with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we're going to run the food processor on a low speed between 3 to 4 minutes or until you end up with a creamy sauce that has no lumps in it. Alright, let's move back to the potatoes. It's been between 25 to 30 minutes since I turned on the heat, and as you can see, all that water has been incorporated into the potatoes and they should be perfectly cooked. And you can kind of hear that salt crackling. I'm going to turn off the heat and gently shake the stock pot. This is what's going to give these potatoes that beautiful wrinkly texture. Transfer the potatoes into a serving dish. And add the mojo picon sauce into the dish. Check this out, our first tapas dish is done. Papas Arugalas con mojo picon. This is what Spanish cuisine is all about. Such big and bold flavors, very easy to make, and made with the most basic ingredients. This promises to be one of the best tapas you will ever taste, 100% authentic and 100% plant-based. For our second tapas dish, we are making sauteed garlic mushrooms with onions and white wine. This dish is known in Spain as champiñones al ajillo con cebolla y vino blanco. Once again, this is a very popular dish here in Spain. In fact, you'll find this tapas dish at almost every bar and restaurant here in the Iberian Peninsula. It's loaded with so many beautiful flavors. It's very easy to make and it guarantees to be one of the best garlic mushrooms you will ever taste. We're going to begin by thinly slicing 4 cloves of garlic, roughly dicing half of an onion, grab a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop it, and remove the stem from 12 button mushrooms. I've already washed these and patted them dry. For the next step, I'm going to grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for about 1 minute, I'm going to add in the sliced garlic and the roughly diced onion. And start mixing them around with that extra virgin olive oil. You want to mix this continuously, that way nothing burns and everything cooks evenly. After about 3 minutes and those onions and garlic are developing a light golden color, I'm going to add the mushrooms into the pan. You want them whole side up and make sure they're all in a single layer. And you can give the pan a quick shake once in a while, that way those garlics and onions don't burn. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to flip the mushrooms, add in a generous 1/4 cup of white wine, about 1 tablespoon of the finely chopped parsley, and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we're going to mix this around, that way all the ingredients are evenly sauteing. After cooking the mushrooms for a total of 4 minutes, this dish is ready to go. You don't want to overcook those mushrooms, otherwise they're going to lose their texture. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and transfer everything into a serving dish. Check it out, our second Spanish tapas dish is done. Champiñones al ajillo con cebolla y vino blanco. So many beautiful flavors here and so easy to put together, but the best part, it comes together in about 15 minutes and it's 100% plant-based. Moving down the list to our third tapas dish, we are making grilled asparagus with romesco sauce. This dish hails from the region of Catalunya, where it's known as Asparagus con salsa romesco. It is made with the most basic ingredients, but it packs some serious flavors. Truly one of the best dishes you will ever taste. Let's begin by making the romesco sauce first. I'm going to add in 5 jarred roasted red bell peppers into a food processor. Along with a 1/4 cup of canned tomato concentrate, 1 clove of raw garlic, 8 toasted blanched almonds and 8 toasted hazelnuts, half a teaspoon of red wine vinegar, and a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Season it with sea salt and a little freshly cracked black pepper. And once again, we're going to run this on a low speed between 3 to 4 minutes or until you end up with a creamy sauce. For the next step, let's grill some asparagus. I'm going to grab a grilling pan and heat it with a medium heat. If you don't have a grilling pan, you can just use a standard fry pan. After heating the pan for 3 minutes on a medium heat, I'm going to drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil and add the asparagus into the pan. Make sure they're all in a single layer. And give it a quick mix, that way all the asparagus are coated in that extra virgin olive oil. And you don't have to mix this continuously, but do mix those asparagus about every 30 seconds, that way they're all evenly grilled. After about 4 minutes, these asparagus look like they are perfectly cooked. You don't want to overcook them, otherwise they're going to lose their beautiful texture. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat, transfer the asparagus into a serving dish, sprinkle them with a little sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And add the romesco sauce into the dish. Check it out, our third Spanish tapas dish is then Asparagus con salsa romesco. Truly one of the best dishes that hail from Catalunya. So many great flavors, so easy to make, and it comes together within 15 minutes. This promises to be one of the best tapas dishes you will ever taste. For our fourth and final plant-based Spanish tapas dish, we are making roasted potatoes with a smoky saffron sauce. This dish is known here in Spain as patatas al horno con una salsa de pimentón y azafrán. This dish is loaded with Spanish flavors. We're talking a sauce that's made with sweet smoked Spanish paprika and saffron, and then you pour it over some roasted potatoes for truly one of the greatest things ever. Let's begin by cutting 2 medium-sized Yukon Gold potatoes into 1/2-inch pieces. I like to cut each potato into 4 evenly sized quarters. Cut the quarter right down the middle and into 1/2-inch pieces. Once all the potatoes are cut, transfer them into a baking tray that's lined with parchment paper. And make sure all the potatoes are in a single layer, that way they all evenly roast. We'll drizzle a kiss of extra virgin olive oil over the potatoes and season them with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And add the potatoes into a preheated oven, bake and broil option, that's the bottom heat and the top heat, 250 degrees Celsius, which is about 475 degrees Fahrenheit. While our potatoes are roasting in the oven, let's make our smoky saffron sauce. I'm going to heat a small fry pan with a medium heat. Add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads. Now the saffron threads I'm using to make this sauce are from Golden Saffron. This is truly one of the best saffrons in the market, and when it comes to price to quality ratio, you cannot beat these guys. You'll find a link where you can get it in the description box below. After heating the olive oil with that saffron for about 2 minutes on a medium heat, I'm going to remove the pan from the heat. Add in a generous teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika and 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. And we're going to whisk this together until everything's well combined and there's no lumps in the sauce. Then I'm going to add the pan back into the stovetop, heat it with a medium heat, and start whisking everything together, and at the same time start slowly adding in about ½ cup of vegetable broth. Once all the broth has been incorporated into the sauce, I'm going to add in a generous 1/4 teaspoon of white wine vinegar. This is going to give a beautiful balance to the sauce. And a little pinch of sea salt. And we're going to continue to whisk this on a medium heat between 4 to 5 minutes, or until we end up with a beautiful creamy sauce. After about 5 minutes and you end up with this creamy texture right here, the sauce is done. I'm going to turn off the heat and let it sit here on the stovetop. Okay, let's move back to the potatoes. They've been in the oven for about 25 minutes and they should be perfectly roasted. I'm going to take them out of the oven and transfer the potatoes into a serving dish. Now we'll move back to our creamy saffron sauce. Since it's been sitting here at room temperature, it's developed a film on top. No big deal. We're just going to whisk this back together to end up with that beautiful creamy texture. And pour the smoky saffron sauce over the potatoes. Check it out, our 4th and final Spanish tapas dish is done. Patatas al horno con una salsa de pimentón y azafrán. Truly, this is what Spanish cuisine is all about. So simple but so good, and the flavors between that paprika and the saffron, it's an explosion of goodness. Easy to make, done in about 30 minutes, and the best part, 100% plant-based. You saw it, 4 beautiful Spanish tapas, all of them 100% authentic and 100% plant-based. Like I told you earlier, you will find these 4 tapas at many bars and restaurants here in España. Make them at home, I guarantee. You're gonna absolutely love them. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Shelly Leon and Tommy Williams. Again, guys, thank you so much for all your support. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.